Welcome back, everybody. It's Amanda Ridout, health coach, and today I'm interviewing my favorite pharmacist, Ben Fuchs. Ben, since it's summer and people are going to the beach or hanging out at the pool, why don't we talk about skincare and sun?
Well, that's a great idea. Memorial Day. We should have probably talked about it before Memorial Day, but in any case, you know, we were going to talk about feeding the skin, about post-exercise, nutriating the skin, if you will. So what do you say we kill two birds with one stone? We combine two topics in one.
Absolutely.
Because we could do that, we could do that. Actually, we can't completely do it because feeding the skin is a lot more than sun protection, but a huge part of the importance of feeding the skin nutrition is really based on the fact that nutrients are protective, and they're especially protective against environmental assault, be that assault be cigarette smoke, or be that assault be air pollution, or be that assault ultraviolet rays from the sun. Vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin A, vitamin D, fat-soluble nutrients, with the exception of vitamin C, are tremendously, tremendously sun protective. So is zinc, for that matter. In fact, zinc is actually considered to be a primary topical sun protection, over-the-counter, FDA-regulated, FDA-approved sun protection chemical or sun protection element. So nutrients are powerfully sun protective. And the way I look at it, that's how we should be protecting ourselves from the sun. Not just using nutrients topically, and topically is very significant and very underappreciated. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. If not today, we'll talk about it a little bit more on our next episode. Topical vitamins and topical nutrients are incredibly, incredibly important. And unfortunately, the modern cosmetic marketplace, which I just despise, has taken this idea of the importance of vitamins and trivialized it and marginalized it and created these silly products with silly doses, with silly dosage forms, strictly to exploit the good sound or the good feelings people have about vitamins. So you'll see these creams with a smattering of vitamin E or a smattering of vitamin A or a smattering of vitamin C in the wrong form, for that matter, that mislead people, because people will put on these products and they won't notice anything. When you truly dose your skin with topical vitamins, you notice it, because your skin sucks those things up like a dry sponge sucks up water, especially in the deficiency state. And what do I mean by that? When we're deficient in nutrients, right? When we're not getting enough vitamin C or vitamin E or vitamin A, our body will compartmentalize those nutrients into the heart and into the spleen and into the bone and into the liver and away from the skin. The skin is the organ of last resort for vitamins and nutrients. Skin doesn't care about your wrinkles, or the body doesn't care about your wrinkles. Right. The body doesn't care about our appearance. The body cares that the heart is ticking and the digestive system's working and the nervous system is firing on all cylinders. You understand what I'm saying? So the skin will get it last, which means that the skin is going to be the first place you're going to be deficient in. And for most of us, because we're all deficient to a certain extent, for most of us, that could be very significant. For most of us, putting topical nutrients on top of the skin can be like manna from heaven for the skin. In other words, I understand what I'm saying? The skin hasn't seen these nutrients for some people in months, years, lifetimes maybe for some people, these kinds of quantities of nutrients. But the key is going to be the quantity of the nutrient, the concentration of the nutrient, when I say quantity, how densely packed that application is with nutrient, as well as the dosage form. And by the dosage form, I mean two things. Number one, the vehicle, the carrier that the stuff is in, and number two, the kind of molecule that the vitamin is. Vitamins come in different formats, if you will, different molecules. There's many different forms of vitamin C. There's many different forms of vitamin A. There's different forms of vitamin D and different forms of vitamin E. Those are your main topical vitamins. They all have different forms, and the form is also going to be significant. Now, when it comes to sun protection, you can protect yourself two ways. You can protect yourself topically, and you could protect yourself internally with nutrients. And that really is where you really want to make sure that you're protecting yourself from the sun, is internal nutrition. When you eat pigments, reds, yellows, greens, oranges, when you eat vitamin C, when you eat vitamin E, given that you have enough of it in your body, it's going to get delivered into the skin. It's going to get transported and delivered into the skin, and that's eating it. And you can test this yourself. I have a little trick that I have my skeptical clients do. Okay, it's not the perfect way to treat your skin or to protect your skin from the sun, but it's a really good way, and it's a good way that you can observe it, and it's very easy to do. You go get eye vitamins. The eyes are a type of skin. The cells of the eye are a modified form of skin cell. You think about it, your eye is kind of on the outside of the body. The eye, it's a type of skin. So the same kind of damage that occurs, and the same kind of protection that occurs when you protect your skin from or your eyes from the sun will occur in your skin as well, in your stratum corneum, in your epidermis here. So eye vitamins that contain vitamin C and selenium and N-acetylcysteine, vitamin E, zinc. There's a few nutrients, some herbs. Those will protect your skin cells, or your eye cells, or your skin cells on your eye, if you will, and they'll also protect your skin. And you'll notice that you're burning much less readily. So if you go on vacation, or you may want to test this out yourself on your trip, it's good to have a baseline to know where you burn.
Yeah.
It's good to know where you burn. So I like people to see how long it takes for them to burn before they start this experiment. Then get yourself on these eye vitamins and take a double dose and do it for a few weeks, and then go out, lay out in the sun again and watch what happens. If you're like most people, you're going to be significantly, your burning time will be significantly longer. Now, in addition to eye vitamins, there's vegetables are also great. The pigments in vegetables, and algae is especially good. All kinds of algae, brown algae, red algae, green algae, especially green algae.
Are we talking fucoidan here?
Exactly, you got me on that one. You got it. Fucoidan. Fucoidan is great for protecting your skin from the sun. Fucoidan's got tremendous benefits, health benefits. And if we ever do a video about general health, which I hope we'll do, then we can talk a lot about fucoidan. Fucoidan's got all kinds of benefits associated with that one. But anyway, eating algae, eating seaweed is another great strategy. Eating pigments, eating all the colors. The colors are really the plant's protective devices to protect the plant from the sun. The plant is in the sun all day long. It never gets skin cancer. The plant doesn't get wrinkles. The plant doesn't shrivel up. Why? Because the plant has evolved these incredible mechanisms, what we call nutrients. Those are mechanisms that the plant, at least some of them, are mechanisms that the plant uses to protect it from the sun. The beautiful reds, the beautiful greens, the beautiful oranges, those are partially, there's other reasons why nature has developed those things. They call in insects and bees and such, but they also have a role to play in absorbing energy from the sun. And when you eat them, given that your digestive system's working good, because your gallbladder has to be working good, your liver has to be working good, pancreas and the stomach, not always the case. Given that all that is happening, and if you suspect there is any issue, you may want to blend your veggies up, but the nutrients, the pigments in the veggies, they will get delivered to your skin and protect you from the sun. And that's how we're supposed to protect ourselves from the sun. And then also, there are foods that cause the skin to lean towards the inflammatory side, that skew the skin towards inflammation. The skin is the chemistry of the skin is on a razor's edge. It can't be too much or too little. It can't be too high or too low. It's kind of on a razor's edge. It gets thrown off into inflammation very, very quickly. It's a defensive system. So it's reading the environment. And when anything is off just a little bit, it'll go off into inflammation. And you don't want that to happen. So eating the wrong kinds of foods, that can skew the skin towards the inflammatory response and cause problems, cause reactions to the sun, or cause you to burn more readily. And it can also cause skin cancer as well. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you're staying away from pro-inflammatory foods, which basically means anything that comes in a box or a package, or that they got a little jingle that they sing, or a cartoon character. You know what I'm saying? If they appeal to children in some way, usually that's a food that's going to be pro-inflammatory. Certainly sugar and refined flour are big time pro-inflammatory, and trans fats are very pro-inflammatory as well. So making sure you're not only not getting those crappy nutrients, but also getting the good stuff, which is the vitamins and the minerals, as well as good fats. Essential fatty acids can also be important. And then you always want to take vitamin E. Vitamin E protects your fats, and it also protects your skin from the sun. Topically, however, you're still going to, if you're going to be out there laying out in the sun, you still want to use an SPF, and you don't want to rely strictly on vitamin C and vitamin E, as important as those are, because especially if you're going to Hawaii or someplace where the sun is very aggressive and you're laying out, then you want to use zinc oxide.
Okay.
Zinc oxide, as opposed to the there's several other sunscreen forms. One is titanium dioxide, which is so-so. And then the real bad ones, or the real problematic ones, I should say, are octyl-methoxycinnamide, and they call them chemical sunscreens. I'm not going to, they're just scientific gibberish kinds of names, but if you can't pronounce it and it's in the sunscreen side of things, that's probably a chemical sunscreen that you want to stay away from. Look for zinc oxide. Problem with zinc oxide, as good as it is, and you can actually use zinc oxide to heal your sunburn in addition to protecting yourself from the sun. As good as zinc oxide is, it's expensive, it's difficult to work with, and there's not a lot of products that will contain just zinc oxide if you're looking for that.
Isn't it the solid white Because I
Yes.
have bags of it that
Yes.
I mix into
You
my
can make
lotions.
you're smart. You're smart. Make bags. That's exactly right, Amanda. That's what you want to do. You know, that's a great idea. Now, it will, there's cosmetic tricks and there's industrial processing tricks to make the zinc oxide particles very small and to disperse them so they don't make you white. And that's why you can have zinc oxide in products that they don't make you white. But if you're making your own, it'll make you white, but it's not a big deal, really. You know, there was a product called Zinca. Do you remember this product? It came out about 20 years ago, maybe more, maybe 30 years ago now. Zinca was a colored zinc oxide that lifeguards would use. It was pink and it was red. And what Zinca did, you ever heard of this?
I've seen it in like
Yes.
on movies or something,
From
but
the
I've
70s
never.
and stuff. Yeah. It was big in the 70s and 80s. Zinca was a company that made zinc oxide, and they knew that their product was white, and a lot of people didn't want to use it, so they made a fashion statement, and they made it pastel and pink and yellow, and all of a sudden people would wear their zinc oxide in different colors. And probably didn't, it might have affected the sun protection a little bit, but it still worked. In any case, zinc oxide does have a tendency to make you white unless you use a fancy processed version, which are very expensive and hard to find. The reason being zinc oxide is not a manufacturer's best friend. It's very difficult to process and manufacture. So most of them will use titanium dioxide or chemicals, or they'll blend zinc oxide with titanium dioxide. Anything else?
So, well,
I want to talk about nutrition, but I think we should say that for a part 2. We'll talk about feeding the skin, unless you want to do that now.
Well, actually, since I will be heading out to the beach soon, if you
Yes.
can just give me, apart from the zinc oxide, which I will do, put on when I'm out in the sun, how about when I come back home and I don't burn very easily?
You want to heal?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a shower and then I'll need to put something on my skin.
Right. You want to make sure that you're using lots of vitamin C, fatty vitamin C, and good luck finding it.
Yeah, I'm already thinking that's not going to be
Yeah.
easy.
Well, no, I'm going to help you later on. We'll
Okay.
figure something out because I love fatty vitamin C and I got a whole bunch of it. So fatty vitamin C is very, very important. Vitamin E can help, but vitamin E has is usually in soy oil, and that can be problematic sometimes. So you got to be a little bit careful with the liquid vitamin E. Vitamin A is good for healing, but it's very stimulating, so you might get some extra peeling, or you might get some extra irritation even if you use a strong vitamin A. So being careful with vitamin A. Vitamin D can be very helpful. Vitamin D is a little hidden gem in the world of skincare vitamins. It's very important for keeping skin cells growing correctly. And when you're healing, remember the candy coating, or the skin cells, when you're healing, that candy coating, the skin cells have to divide in a very coordinated and regulated fashion. And when you're healing, sometimes that can get thrown off a little bit, especially if you're deficient in nutrients. Vitamin D can help stabilize that. And that's why vitamin D is used with vitamin A for healing, and things like vitamin A and D ointment. Perhaps you've probably heard of that. Vitamin A and D ointment for diaper rash.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
That's an old timer.
So can I take a little vitamin D capsule, poke it, and put that on my face?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Feel free to poke. Feel free to poke and squeeze. Now vitamin E, like I say, it's in soy oil, so sometimes that might be a problem, but it might not be. You know, you may not have a problem with it. So see how you do with the vitamin E. It's very healing.
Okay.
Vitamin A in the form that you get in the capsules. That's a special form that's very mild. You could put that right on your skin as well.
I found capsules that came out brick red, and when I put it on my skin, it was brick red.
Yeah, that's got beta-carotene in it. That's a little bit different, but it's still good for you. Beta-carotene is not vitamin A. Beta-carotene might be more protective. As a matter of fact, that's not a bad idea. But the problem is beta-carotene is red. Yeah, so that would be a problem. But beta-carotene would definitely be sun protective. Very, very sun protective.
So when I come back in from the sun, at the moment, I have a bottle of plant-derived minerals, and I have a bottle of fucoidan. Can I spray those on my body and on my face?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Heck, you can and should.
Okay.
Can and should, especially when you come out of the shower. Best time to put all your products on that you want to penetrate is when the skin is wet and damp, on your face or on your body after a shower or bath.
Okay. Wonderful. And how about the exercising of the skin while somebody is at the beach for a few days? Do we want to do that?
You're going to have to judge that for yourself. It's in your interest to exercise as much as possible without causing irritation or a problem. So you want to know, like we said, with the sweet spot. You want to know where that is. It's not too much, not too little, and that's where you have to have a certain body or skin sensitivity, and that's where a little bit of savvy has to come in. Because you don't want to underdose and you don't want to overdose, and that's why we have estheticians. But it's really not rocket science. You just go by the feel of your skin. And the
Wonderful.
look.
I have one last question for you.
Yes.
How about when we're using all these alpha hydroxy acids and the vitamins, do we want to put them on the eye area?
That's a great question. That's a great question. The skin around the eye is the thinnest skin in the body. It doesn't have a lot of sprinkles or a lot of candy coating. It's real. You're going right to the beef. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So you don't have a lot of room for error there. So do you want to use it? My opinion. And also, you don't even have a lot of beef there now that I think about it. It's pretty much just bone. So you're not really going to get a heck of a lot of benefit by using it. On the other hand, you are going to get a little bit of benefit. Okay. So you probably want to use it quickly, super quickly, because you don't have a lot of tissue there. You don't have a lot of stuff there. It's going to go right into the lower layers of the skin pretty quickly. So you want to get it off the skin quickly, or you want to use a lower dose, and you definitely want to use vitamins and nutrients there and to follow it up.
Okay. Well, wonderful. I feel confident that I'm going to be in the sun and I'm not going to completely ruin my face or the work that I've done.
Enjoy the sun, but don't burn.
No.
Don't burn.
I'm never like burning.
Okay,
well, thank you so much, Ben. This has been
good to talk to you.
Wonderful.
All right.
I will see you again soon.
Okay. Bye, Amanda.
Bye.